We welcome cantorial student Jenna McMillan back to our beam. She's here visiting. We're so proud to have her anytime. You'll love her voice. And we're going to teach you the last piece first so that you're familiar both tonight when we sing it to the end of service and also for our Irving Laker guest artist in a few weeks. So it's easy. The words go like this. Hallelujah. 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 Yeah, that's the easy part. The rhythm is hard. It goes like this. Hallelujah. 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 Try that much. 2, 3, 4. Hallelujah. 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 Again. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Now listen. Then it goes. Hallelujah. 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 Try the whole thing with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hallelujah. 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 Great. Let's my mistake. These are the band that I want to hear everybody together. Ready? All just voices. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hallelujah. Nice and full. Hallelujah. 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 Got it? One more time. Try it together. 2, 3, 4. Hallelujah. 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 Some of you are looking at me like, if you want us to sing, you have to spray us with water or something. Someone called the ambulance over there. I get it. Let's start with something you know. On page 5, Hine matov umanaim. Let's all get together. Let's get our energy up. Ready? Everybody together. Hine matov. Hine matov umanaim. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanaim. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanaim. Hine matov umanaim. Shevet achim gam yachad. 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 Amazing. Hine matov umanaim. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanaim. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanaim. Hine matov umanaim. Shevet achim gam yachad. 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 Shevet achim gam yachad.
Shabbat Shalom, and welcome to the Schwitz. You've heard of Bikram Yoga. This is Bikram prayer. That's what we're doing right here. You're going to feel so good afterwards, too. I want you to know. You're going to feel good because, as you've heard, you'll be listening not only to our amazing band and cantors, but also to Jenna McMillan, a favorite daughter of Temple Israel, just back from her first year of cantorial school. And we bring her forward now for the honor of lighting the Shabbat candles on page 13.
Yom Zeh leYisrael ora v'simcha Shabbat menucha. This is Israel's day of light and joy, a Sabbath of rest. As we kindle these Sabbath flames, may there be light and joy, happiness and holiness, serenity and peace in our homes and in our hearts. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot and commands us to kindle the lights of Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kirshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We continue responsively on page 17 as we welcome the Sabbath bride. Oh, no, that's not the one to welcome the Sabbath bride. Well, we'll do the 17 one anyway. Sing a new song to God. Sing unto God, praise God's name. Let the heavens be glad and the earth rejoice. Let the field and its creatures exult. Who comes to judge the earth, to rule the world with justice. We continue on page 27.
אדוני אחד ושמו אחד ושמו תפארת ורגילה לך תודי לקראת קלה ושבת נקבלה לך תודי לקראת קלה ושבת נקבלה לקראת שבת לכו ונרחקים מכל עבירה מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף המעשה במחשבה תחילה לך תודי לקראת קלה בני שבת נקבלה לך תודי לקראת קלה בני שבת נקבלה התעוררי גבעורי קומי אורי אורי שיר דברי כבוד אדוני עלייך רגילה לך תודי לקראת קלה בני שבת נקבלה לך תודי לקראת קלה בני שבת נקבלה אוי ושלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תחמוני ים סגולה בואי חלה לך תודי לקראת קלה בני שבת נקבלה לך תודי לקראת קלה בני שבת נקבלה לילה
We have two strategies. We can shorten the service so you're out in the sun for less time, or we can lengthen the service so it's cooler when the service ends. Should I take a vote? Let's just rise for the Baruch Hu on page 35.
et Adonai Hamevorach Baruch Adonai Hamevorach Leolam Vaed Hamevorach Leolam Vaed.
On page 40, we continue together. Creation, revelation, redemption. The cycle of our prayer reflects the history of our people. It is an ancient circle revolving around a single eternal truth. There is only one God in heaven and on earth, one God who created the universe and revealed the Torah, who lifts up the fallen and redeems the oppressed, who separates light from darkness and good from evil, who is the source of our blessings and the yearning of our heart.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meotecha v'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'chatavetam mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti yadchem meretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem lelohim ani Adonai Elohechem emet.
It is a rarity, but happens at times, that a sermon you delivered actually is used to cause you to do something. So a friend a couple days ago sent me a note. What are you doing Friday morning? Come join us on the ropes at the JCC. How many of you have done that, the rope thing? Okay. So my initial response was ambivalent. And then that person wrote back, but Rabbi, you said, take the trip. Remember that? Don't let life pass you by. Find ways to do things that are opportunities. So I listened. There are journeys that people take because they have to. The moment we're going to sing about Micha Mocha, our people didn't have a choice. Take the trip was not the question. Escape to Sinai. This morning at 9 a.m., I took a different kind of trip. If you have not ever seen the rope course at the JCC, It's worth going to see. And if you're, by the way, the oldest person who went on the hardest one was 86 years old. So anyone below 86 years of age, go to the rope course, think about journeys, think about, you don't all have to do it. Take the trip, and remember our ancestors who didn't have those kinds of choices. When they fled from Egypt, they were on a journey of salvation. I did not see Sinai this morning at the end of my trip, but it was unbelievable. I took the trip.
V'nehema kifada Adonai et Yaakov, u'gialo miyad chazak mimenu, Baruch ata Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael.
The past two Shabbatot, I've been blessed to be in Israel with 123 of our teens. And I have to say that when you pray for peace in Israel, it just kind of feels a little bit more near, a little bit less abstract. And they're still there tonight, although it's about 2 o'clock in the morning, so Shabbat for them their service is over. But I want us to all put ourselves in that space for peace to be immediate, for peace to be something that is so near and dear to us that we want to work towards it every single day. And so as we turn to page 47, we turn to thoughts of peace on this Shabbat and say together, "Cause us, our Creator, to lie down in peace, and raise us up, O sovereign God, to renewed life and peace. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel, and be our shield of mercy and of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem."
Vishamberu b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. vishamberu b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. Eli עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו לעיני ישראל, לעיני ישראל את השבת לעשות, את השבת לדורותיו ברית עולם. וביום השביעי, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, וביום השביעי, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. יא לה לה לה, יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 ला, יא לה 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 ला, יא לה 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 ला, יא לה לה ला לה ला ला, יא לה לה
We rise together on page 51. Adonai, sifatai tiftachu fi agite hilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei avotenu v'imotenu. Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, Ve'koneh Hakol, Ve'zocher Chasdei Avot ve'imaot, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה.
Together at the bottom of 52. Prayer invites us to let God's presence suffuse our spirits, to let God's will prevail in our lives. Prayer cannot bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, and rebuild a weakened will. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh Hakol. Blessed are you, O God, who renews all things.
אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך הסלע. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. As you're seated, we pray silently. עושה שלום, עושה שלום, באמרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום, עלינו,
shalom.
Ya'ase shalom.
Aleinu.
Aleinu.
Ve'al kol Yisrael.
Ve'al kol Yisrael.
Ve'imeru.
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 So we turn to the Misha Berach on page 66. We always say the Misha Berach, and it literally translated, it means the one who blesses. And when we think about that, we're talking about God, right? Misha Berach Avotenu, the one who blessed our fathers and our mothers. But I also want to consider it as Misha Berach as us. We bless each other with our presence. And when you're not feeling good, when you're going through a hard time, so many people have said, but I have great support around me. And we feel blessed by the support around us, being friends or family or physicians. And so tonight as we sing the Misha Berach, we thank God not only for the healing that God provides, but the healing that we give each other. And so for all of those who are supporting or being supported, or for those who don't have any support, we sing this song together on page 66.
Kor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
A few moments ago, Rabbi Loss turned to me and said that I should begin my sermon with a joke so that I could wake you up a little bit. So I've decided actually to begin not with a joke, but with a little bit of a story. It's a story that you may have heard me share before about a first grade religious school student who came home after learning about Passover one particular Sunday morning. On the drive home, as she did every single week, his mom asked him to share one thing that he had learned in Sunday school that day. And most weeks, the boy did what he always did. He responded, nothing. It's a typical answer for those of us who have children in that age range, but this particular week was very different. His answer was nothing short of astounding. Well, the boy started, our ancestors were trapped in Egypt by a terrible guy named Pharaoh. They were slaves for a lot of years, and they had to do awful things there. It was really bad for the Jews. Getting more animated as he went on, the boy continued, there was this guy named Moses who decided to lead those people out of slavery. So he put the Jews together into an army, and they got into their tanks and their airplanes, and they started a military rescue mission. Now, when they got to the edge of the ocean, Elon Musk sent special electric cars that turned into submarines. The Jewish people escaped underwater, and the Egyptians retaliated with F-15 bombers. They tried to attack the Jews. It was a crazy battle, but in the end, the Jewish people used nuclear technology that they had stolen from the North Koreans to vaporize the Egyptians. And when they finally got to the other side, they had a party that was like a bar mitzvah, and that's the kind of party I want to have when I turn 13. Now, astounded, the mom finally interjected, is that really what they taught you at Sunday school? She had already started thinking about the conversation she would be having with the rabbi the next Monday morning. Well, the boy replied, If I told you what they actually taught us about the Red Sea, you'd never believe me. Now, despite what we learn in Sunday school about miracles in our tradition, we are, as human beings, conditioned not to believe anything like the splitting of the Red Sea, that couldn't be possible in a modern context. Put up against science and logic, any kind of supernatural intervention from God is just not a rational possibility in this world. Now, contrary to that modern understanding, the Bible, the Talmud, and all of the other ancient and medieval Jewish writings take for granted that miracles can and do occur. For most Jewish authors, the idea of a miracle is just an extraordinary event, which precisely because it is different from what we normally experience, provides us evidence that God is somehow directly intervening in our world, creating the miracle. So which answer is correct? Has modern science forced us to abandon that idea of miracles? Or is there a way for us to understand God's impact in our lives in a new way? Perhaps the term that applies is a modern miracle. Now, to be completely transparent, I actually grew up very skeptical of the traditional Jewish school of thought. My father was a doctor, a scientist, and logically, any talk of miracles just seemed contrary to my life experience. And then, my mother became sick. Throughout my childhood, she lived with diabetes. She regularly checked her blood sugar. It was normal for a family dinner outing to begin with a trip to the bathroom where she would inject insulin into her leg. Over time, unfortunately, the disease took its toll. My mom became more and more burdened by her hormonal deficiencies, and it became clear that the diabetes had led to renal failure and that either dialysis or a kidney transplant were the only options. So my Aunt Paula, my mom's sister, came forward and offered to be her donor. Incredibly, the surgery was a huge success, as my mother participated in the first ever clinical trial of cyclosporin, which now has become one of the normal anti-rejection drugs. And I'm thinking about her today because it happens that it's her yahrzeit. But tonight I'm thankful, not sad, for the extra 15 years of life that transplant gave her. And over time, I have come to understand that surgery, that experience, as a modern miracle. For me, there's just no other way to understand the course of events that allowed my mother to live long enough to see me get engaged, ordained as a rabbi, and to begin my first and only rabbinic job as one of your clergy. But this week, I am also super aware of this idea of modern miracles, as I, like so many of you, was engrossed in the story of the Wild Boars soccer team, trapped in a cave in Thailand for more than 2 weeks. That amazing story included scuba divers, boys remaining alive by licking drips of water from stalactites, international media, daring rescuers. The plot featured monsoon rains, the tragic death of one hero, and even Elon Musk sending a child-sized submarine. Now, it might be easy to focus on the human element of the story, but I couldn't help but wonder where God's intervention came to play. Without every piece of that story coming into perfect alignment, those boys and their coach may never have survived. Without some kind of a miracle, they would not be alive to tell their story. Again, I think it's impossible to witness this moment without somehow considering a supernatural intervention of some divine force in the world. So, how can our modern Jewish lives align the two possibilities? On the one hand, there's human scientific knowledge, and on the other, God's somehow potential influence on us. So for the answer, I turn, as always, to the Torah. It has been long understood that the Ten Commandments are divided into two sections, 1 through 5 and 6 through 10. The first section focuses on the nature of our relationship with the divine, our responsibilities to God. Those initial 5 commandments include the concept of monotheism, not taking God's name in vain, Shabbat observance, and a prohibition against idolatry. And if you take them alone, just standing those 5, they are, in fact, a contract between humans and God. But by contrast, the second set of commandments focuses on our responsibilities to our fellow human beings. We learn to avoid jealousy, to respect other people's property, and generally to play well with other people in this world. We are taught by our sages that those 10 commandments are arranged just as they are, with the 5th commandment to honor our parents, acting as the transition between our divine connection and humans, because it is from our parents that we learn about God. But perhaps there is one additional lesson to be learned. As Jews, the 10 commandments are a package deal. We can't think of them as just 5 and another 5. They come together. Even Charlton Heston held them just in his hands. So understood together, all 10 commandments send us a very strong message. You see, wholeness of our character comes only when we balance our connection to God and our humanity. When we do, when we take our God-given talents, our knowledge, our scientific abilities, and then we do what we as humans can do, we act, the result is miraculous, literally a modern miracle. So tonight, I'm asking you simply to reconsider the way you see the world in which you are living. Look around. It is easy to see only technology, only innovation and science. It's answering all of our needs. The entire world is in the hands. When we look at our cell phones, our smartphones give us everything. But if you look just a little bit deeper, beyond the surface, at the way we humans are using that technology, the way we have taken God's gifts and melded them together with what we are given in this world, I think then we might just catch a glimpse of God's light. And it is in that light that we could see miracles around us every day. In that light, we feel our interaction with the divine. And that is truly the modern miracle of our time. Shabbat Shalom.
In the days when we were broken, in the nights when we were falling fast, in the times when hope was hard to find, the times when love was left behind, you came to lead us home.
In our story of redemption, in our tales that we will always tell, in the pages of our history, your flame was there to set us free, to bring us peace at last. In these lights, we are surrounded by these lights. We are reminded by these lights. There are stories that will light our way. In these lights, we are reflected in these lights.
the beauty of this moment and the moments that have yet to come.
For the miracles that happen here, the vision that is growing clear, the wonders we will know.
In these lights, we are surrounded by these lights. We are reminded by these lights. There are stories that will light our way. In these lights, we are reflected. In these lights, we are protected. In these lights, there are miracles to find here. In these lights. In these lights, we are surrounded by these lights. We are reminded by these lights. There are stories that will light our way. In these lights, we are reflected. In these lights, we are protected by these lights. There are miracles to find here in these lights.
It's my pleasure to call to the Bima Andy Bachnick, a member of our executive committee, to deliver our congregational announcement.
Shabbat Shalom. This Sunday, we will be having our annual Stephen Gottlieb concert in loving memory of Stephen Gottlieb. Each year, we invite a musical guest to share their artistry and entertain our community. We have the honor of welcoming Mikey Palker this Sunday, July 15th at 5 p.m. here at Temple Israel. Mikey Palker's music is elevated by catchy melodic hooks and reggae and rock beats. His latest song, Rise, has over 1 million Facebook views. Come hear Mikey blend ecstatic music festivals with Hebrew roots at this beautiful concert. Join us for a celebration of prayer during our Kabbalat Shabbat service on Friday, July 27th at 7:30 p.m. as we welcome our Laker guest, Sheldon Lowe, in loving memory of Irving Laker. Lowe is one of the brightest young stars in Jewish rock today. For further information, check the information table as you leave or call Temple during regular business hours. Please join us after services for the Oneg and Shabbat greetings. On behalf of the officers and members of the Board of Trustees, let me wish each of you a Shabbat Shalom.
Just a couple of more announcements that I want to just add because they're upcoming events that you may be seeing, and I want everybody to just get ready for it. It's in the spirit of what Rabbi Law said earlier about taking the journey. If you are living on the east side of this suburban Detroit, or you have family members there, in a couple of weeks, on the 10th of August, we're also going to be celebrating an East Side Shabbat. So look for information about that Shabbat and tell everybody you know that we'll be having that opportunity to celebrate with less of a drive this way. And on the first week of August, so 2 weeks from now, we are going to be participating in the first ever challah roll. Now, what is a challah roll? Well, if you know about the Detroit Slow Roll, the Shabbat challah roll is a family-friendly bike ride from our parking lot to the West Bloomfield Trail and back for Shabbat. You're allowed to wear your bike attire that night. So please, if you own a bike and you like to ride, it doesn't matter what your ability level is, join us for the challah roll that's happening in a couple of weeks. But now we actually want to turn to a group of people who make us roll literally every day. They're the people who lead our minyan services. They're the people who go to homes in our community when family members, loved ones have died, and they perform the mitzvah of offering a minyan service, a memorial service in their homes. They are truly the lifeblood of this community. They're people who give of themselves every day in our community, in our morning minyan, and on Sunday mornings at our minyan, and also in people's homes. We are so honored to be celebrating all of you tonight. If you are one of our minyan leaders, if you are part of our minyan community, please join us here on the bima as we invite you to help us open the Ark for Aleinu. We turn in our prayer books to page 76, as we also invite all of the youngest members of our congregation. Anybody 13 years or younger, come on up here, join us also for a Shabbat treat. We rise as one community for Aleinu.
Aleinu לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לבני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
You can be seated. We are such a lucky congregation to have all of these leaders for us, literally 7 days a week. And thank you to Steve Weiss, who would probably be upset with me, but he's our guy that we call first, and he makes sure that everyone gets where they need to be. So thank you to Steve for keeping us moving. So now, as we thank the people who comfort us, remember those that we have loved and lost. And so we especially think of those who have died in the past 30 days, the period of Shloshim: Joan Roth Adler, Theodore Baxter, Louis Berman, Janice Brandel, Fred Sislow Sr., Edward Cohen, Phyllis Cohen, Leonard Dinkin, Murray Feldman, Matthew Doc Gantz, Florence Sandweiss Good, Robert Goodman, Dr. Stan Halprin, Ethan Holtzman, Harold Kaller, Francis Kaner, Jack Kopnick, Shelley Korash, Rochelle Letterman, Dr. Edward Lurchin, Stanley Millman, Elaine Perlman, Sandy Reisman, Bill Harry Ross, Rachel Shane, Howard Schlafer, Emily Citron, Stephen Zorn, Edith Petramovitz, Dr. Jules Altman. We also recall the names of those whose yahrzeits occur on this Shabbat: Nathan Bell, Betty Mae Bennett, Mayor Blatt, Lloyd Blazowski, Norman Bornstein, Norman Cohen, Norton Cohen, Herbert Corman, Hyman Drazen, Maynard Feldman, Morris Friedman, Isidore Goldfarb, Sylvia Goodman, Alan Gray, Jeffrey Andrew Gray, Henry Halprin, Alan Israel, Faye Kaner, Suzanne Knight, Benjamin Constantine, Philip Krawitz, Nathan Miller, Minnie Millman, Max Millman, Rose Monshine, Joseph Pearl, Sally Grant Reisman, Janet Rosenberger, Morris Sapperstone, Shirley Schneider Barrett, Mary Jo Seitz, Ruth Sofin, Elaine Watsky, Michelle Naomi Weberman, David Weiner, Irvin Yaknas, Betty Yolis, Hanley York. Shirley Seidman, Sydney Seidman, Edna Arnkoff, Irving Stoller, Helen Woolner, Bessie Weiner, Harry Schwartz, Francis Kay, Dr. Myron Gerber, Abe Perlman, Sylvia Perlman, Judy Perlman, Seal Zimmerman, Janet Spinner, Joy Michael Levine, Bluma Mayerson, Rudolph Mayerson, Esther Milikowski, Henry Gottlift, Brenda Weisberg, Joe Mendick, Leo Hack, Kylie Shoshana Kohlenberg, Edward Schwartz, Larry Shazen, Rhoda Shamus. We remember them with love and honor them with words of Kaddish on page 80. Please rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dochol beit Yisrael, ba'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam le'olmei olmaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudesha brichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. We pray that the source of peace sends peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved among us. Amen.
We thank Sean McDonald and our band for the beautiful music, and thanks to Jenna McMillan for joining us. Please come and we'll enjoy your leadership anytime you're back in town. And we conclude with a taste of the upcoming Laker guest artist Sheldon Lowe. Here's that piece we learned, Hallelujah.
When something fills up your soul and it makes you feel wonderful, you sing hallelujah. You sing hallelujah. When you're singing your favorite song and everybody sings along, you sing hallelujah. You sing hallelujah. With every little part of my body and soul, I'm singing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Every voice, hallelujah.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. When you wake up and see the sunrise or the sparkling mud in someone's eyes, you sing hallelujah. You sing hallelujah. When you feel the smile from above and you find someone you love, you sing hallelujah. You sing hallelujah. Every little part of my body and soul, I'm singing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. I sing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Know when to keep your eyes open, 'cause everything's holy and beautiful. So go find it wherever it's hiding, 'cause being here at all is a miracle. It's a miracle. I'm singing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.